What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Diablo Immortal video. I'm coming at you guys a little bit different today, and I'm going to fill you in on exactly why. For the videos that you've been watching for the past week's time, they were all pre-recorded, and I was essentially away on vacation. I'm recording this before I got back from vacation, or actually before I even left. But I think the topic that we're going to talk about here today is actually quite important, and it relates to what I've been doing in preparation for going away for 6 days. Which, again, as you're watching this, I'm already returning from this trip. Diablo Immortal. Burnout, frustration, grind, all of these elements inside of the game. We have been hearing complaints about Diablo Immortal, well, since before it even came out, right? This is not something new to the game. Diablo Immortal has had hate come at it forever. Blizzard has been dealing with that for quite a long time. Honestly, it's probably not going to change. It's the sentiment that comes along with the game. It's because of a mixture of both passion from the players and some players that just have a lot of negativity. And a game that has a lot of issues that people are tired of dealing with, let's be honest. There's a lot of all of that going on. So why am I telling you that I was away on vacation, that what you were watching before was previously recorded before I went away? And that's why there were some build videos, things that weren't really specific to time sensitive, not news related things that I just couldn't do ahead of time because they're news. We often get caught up in games like this, and I put a similar video out on my raid channel, different topic, similar agenda here. When you look at what you got to do inside of these games every day, the events that you want to take part in, you want to make sure that you get all your rewards. You want to make sure that you take advantage of all this stuff, although I didn't. And Fractured Plane, you want to make sure that you do this stuff, although I barely did. You want to make sure that you get your dungeons done. You want to make sure that you get your bounties done. You want to make sure that you complete your battle pass before the battle pass ends so you can be sure that you get the final end rewards. And you want to get as many chests as you can, which I think I've gotten 59 of them. Or 59 levels, so 19 chests above that. We sometimes get wrapped up in, God, I gotta keep grinding my account because I want to stay above that server Paragon level. For example, for me, I'm recording this video on what is it today? On a Tuesday. Server Paragon just flipped from 360 to 370. On Monday, yesterday, I was Paragon level 367. I was 3 behind Server Paragon. Collected my Monday rewards and did a hell of a lot of farming over the past 2 days. Open world farming in a party. We've gotten ourselves 10 levels. This wasn't easy. This was time. This was a lot of time that was put into doing something like that. I did it, 1, because I knew I was going to be going away and wanted to get that grind in. 2, because, well, it was fun. I actually enjoy doing that kind of stuff inside of the game. And 3, I realized that while the market values are so darn cheap, I may as well start farming as much platinum as I can so I can get some of these cheap gems before they go back up in price, which will be great for me selling gems, but it'll be really bad for me actually trying to buy gems. So look at this, 3-star, 19,000 platinum. That's the crap I'm talking about right there. So I do a little bit of farming, and although I get yelled at all the time for selling these things, I'm gonna sell them because I can get good value for them. And let's actually put this one up right up here, right there, because I could sell them and then I could go buy these lower price gems with them. Not the worst idea for me to do. I picked up all of these through open world farming today in a party of 4. Pretty easy stuff. We're gonna go right here and throw these up on the market as well. But it makes you think about the game, and is it really worth, or any game at all, is it really worth the sacrifice of all the time that you put into it and having the need to do it? That's the thing right there. That's the key right here. I'll ask you, do you sometimes play Diablo Immortal or any other game because you feel like you need to do it so that you could keep up the grind in your account, keep up your level, or because you're just trying to play catch up? Is that a need for you? Now, for me, it's a need, but that's for a different reason. It's a need for me because this is my job, right? I do YouTube full time across 4 YouTube channels, this being actually the second YouTube channel that I ever created. I also have a full-time job as well. If you want more detail on that, you can go to my Echo Raid channel where I just kind of explain that to everyone. I don't need to give you the whole rundown on what my life is all about. I kind of did that over there, so yeah, may as well. If you care about that, you can go check out the video. The channel is Echo Raid. There'll be definitely some overlap in the content because the topic is similar, but not exactly the same. Over on the Raid channel and playing Raid, surprisingly, there's a lot less hate for Raid Shadow Legends from the community than there is from Diablo Immortal. I know, Raid Shadow Legends, the most pay-to-win game of all time, hated by the community. Actually, it's not the most pay-to-win game of all time. I think Diablo Immortal has taken that title over the past 2 years. And that's okay, as long as you don't get sucked into an endless spending culture that you get yourself in trouble with it. As long as you spend accordingly, you know, you'll be fine. For me, I'll spend a little bit of money in the game instead of going out and getting beers with my friends every once in a while, and I'll be fine. It's when you start spending money that you can't spend or that you need for other things that are your responsibilities, well, that's when you start getting yourself into some trouble, right? That's another video for another day. This isn't about me warning you about spending, but it is talking to you guys about all the complaining that we hear from the community. Maybe it's not you. A lot of times, newer players that have just come to the game, been playing for a couple of months, very positive on the game. You know why? The game offers the best action RPG experience of any other mobile game out there. It's actually amazing. But there's a lot of stuff inside of the game that could be, you know, a little frustrating. The pay to win sucks, you know? I would love it if I could progress my account in a way that I could do it for free. I would love that. But we know that there's a pay-to-win mechanic in the way there that's preventing us from doing that. That's fine. It's how Diablo Immortal makes a ton of money and continuously puts out updates every month. Because they're getting funded to do that from the community, buying things inside of the game. That's just the model that they chose. If they went with the free-to-play model where you could only buy cosmetics and storage, they wouldn't have made half as much money, and they wouldn't have been able to do the updates that we want to see inside of the game. Would you be happy if Diablo Immortal got one update a year? Like one big content update per year, like we see in games like Clash of Clans? To get like one big content update per year. Would that satisfy you? I see people getting frustrated a week after an update comes that they want something new. You know, we see the Tempest class come out. Thing came out 2 months ago. We're already complaining that, you know, about all these issues with the game, and you know that's not new enough. When I look at a lot of other mobile games, they put out a yearly update, and some of them are if that. So I think we need to sit back and sometimes remember, you know, take Diablo Immortal for what it is, right? It's a good action RPG. It's pay to win, has pay to win mechanics, which are absolutely fine if you could be smart in how you handle those. I'm going to save my bestiary rewards to claim in the morning because I'm just about done playing tonight. And although I could get those rewards, I will wait until the morning when I'll get double the points potentially for claiming them. We'll get a little bit more experience out of them. All right, we're going to move somewhere else. And we're going to sprint our way. So I love playing Diablo Immortal. It really is my favorite game to play right now. That's genuine. I'm a Diablo partner, but they don't pay me. I could sit here and say that it's my least favorite game, and it won't change anything. Because, as I said, I don't make money from Blizzard. They do give me cool cosmetics, which I very much appreciate. And I do get to, every once in a while, go visit them and talk about the game and the future of it and all that. Which I also quite like, because I'm invested in the game. I'm not talking financially, I'm talking about, you know, I just like playing the freaking game. And on top of that, I have a business. If you look at YouTube that way, which you should, if you know anything about YouTube, I have a business focused around this game. I've basically proven that if I do other games in this channel, no one's really going to want to watch it. That's just YouTube for you, though. It's That's how this jabby works. But I think we need to be a little bit kinder about what Diablo Immortal has to offer, about how much of the development is in control of Blizzard versus how much is in control of NetEase, and think about how hard it must be to coordinate updates and development between teams halfway across the world on completely different time schedules. Literally, I think it's opposite. I think it's the opposite time schedule. Imagine how difficult that is. I'll tell you, it's definitely not easy. And we still have the best, most popular action RPG on mobile being made by that split team. I think you could say it's pretty impressive. And I'll also say that the team that's monetizing Diablo Immortal is not the same team that's developing Diablo Immortal. That's the whole monetization segment of the company. People we don't ever know. We'll never know who makes those decisions. We just won't. They're the money decision makers, and their plan has worked. What we can hope for, though, as a community, is that the awesome ideas that have been put into this game are actually made to function 100% properly, so that the gameplay experience can be one that people won't really complain too much about, because it's oh so fun. I'm just gonna auto nav and throw on Wrath of the Berserker here. We'll auto nav, throw on Wrath of the Berserker. What is it doing? Why is it running away? Okay, we got a bunch in here, I see. We'll clean this out. I used to be a teacher, and when I was a teacher, there was always politics going on in teaching. Always the union versus the school. A new principal coming to the school every year, changing the rules and what they expect out of the teachers. Not to mention state standards always changing for education and what I needed to do and what my responsibilities were as a teacher so that I can maintain my job. Or at least that was the fear. I tried my best to not engage in any of that nonsense. Why? One, I couldn't do much about it, and two, it just pissed me off. It would put me in a bad mood, and I didn't like dealing with it. So I just always chose to kind of distance myself from it and not to really engage and to just do what I thought was fun, which was being a phys ed teacher, going to school every day and getting to play sports with kids. Teach them about why being fit is an important thing in life for them to take on for a lifetime through exercise, sport, and just general health. I didn't focus in on what's the right word? I didn't focus in on all the negativity around it. The asshole principal that comes to the school, who I actually couldn't stand, and to be fair, he couldn't stand me. Or the new policies that were implemented, new state standards that we had to apply, that we had to apply into our classroom, and all this stuff that was just stupid red tape and politics. I didn't engage with it. I just did what I had to do, didn't get involved in the crazy, and I did what I loved, which was teaching. We could apply the same philosophy here to Diablo Immortal. Now, I do have more of a pull here, I guess you could say, than I did with my union. Here, I'm lucky enough to have a voice that can be heard. I could put out a video about what the community wants, and Blizzard will see it and can take those and put them into suggestions for their team. And I'm actually very comfortable doing that. We just did it 2 weeks ago. But I don't play the game and sit and complain about how Battlegrounds sucks and how matchmaking is screwed up, etc., etc., whatever complaints may be. I just don't engage with that part of the game. I barely ever play Battlegrounds. Now, I know a lot of people play the game to play Battlegrounds. See that? I'm not one of them. I like the grind of the game, which is actually funny to me because I used to be an advocate for PvP inside of the game. I used to say, oh, that's what you need. You need PvP for everlasting, long-standing game. I still stand by that. I just don't love PvP in this game. But that's more because it's an action RPG. I still love like Call of Duty, Brawl Stars, Gears of War, my favorite of all time. But I guess what I'm trying to get at here is, one, I'm burnt out as hell because I recorded approximately 13 videos over a week's time span, and busted my butt at work to prepare for being away for a week, which I'm now returning from. Part of that is grinding hours per day of the game, then creating content for 4 YouTube channels, then working a full-time job, having things sent out to my editor, doing my thumbnails myself. Oh, sitting here yawning because it's almost 11:30 at night. I just think it's important that we all remember why we started playing this game. We started playing because it's fun. We started playing because we're fans of the genre, and some of you fans of Diablo itself. These games are never going to be perfect. There's always going to be game modes. This is the new economy of gaming. Back in the day, 20 years ago, games would come out and they'd be put out perfect, done, completed, finished. And then they'd bring out add-ons over time. It doesn't work that way anymore. Now they put out games that are not complete and they complete it over time while people are playing the game. That incompletion is going to be causing bugs inside of the game. And these bots also suck. They really, really do. Can't stand seeing them in Elder Rifts. So how would I handle that? One, I'd go do an Elder Rift and just kick them out. Or I won't do Elder Rifts. And I'll do other things that I can engage with inside of the game instead. It's all mindset. There's no reason why we should be upset. Okay, we can be disappointed. But we shouldn't be angry about a game experience when we really can't do too much about it. We can't hate Blizzard because we don't like how they're developing Diablo Immortal. You could hate Blizzard for other reasons if you want to. Maybe you could find some reasons that are worth hating. But hate's a strong word too. Remember what's important. Remember why you started playing the game. And just enjoy what the game has to offer. It has a lot to offer. We can definitely participate in many, many different elements of the game and find ways that we enjoy it. And a lot of times what's important is not actually inside of a video game, and instead inside of yourself, inside of your life, your world, your family. A lot of times those are what's actually important. That's something to think about. Something to remember. Just giving you a little bit of positivity here today that we can spread amongst the community, and just know that you need to make sure you're enjoying what you're doing, especially when you're choosing to do it inside of a video game.